time to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
Two teams that don't like each other much. One will go to Super Bowl 53 as we're underway in the 2019 NFC title game. First down, Rodgers. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. Beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Flush to his right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it's cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. But one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Let's go, come on.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play actional.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And there's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hey, over here.
On second down, here's Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, 67 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. So a very good start, but don't go get those Super Bowl T-shirts left. Still the early going here.
I wonder if they're even printing them at this stage of the game, right? Do you wait a little longer before you say which one you're going to do? Good advice, Brandon. Make sure you know there's a lot of game left, but a good start.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Check 50, check 50.
On second down, Wilson being chased out left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Hey, over here.
Wilson on third down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Kyler Fackrell with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the micro.
Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Nazir Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
To throw is Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Wilson now looking to throw on second down. It's caught. Lockett. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be fielded at the 8. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
58.
Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss of the tackle. The Packers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now it's Lockett. Dancing away at the 35. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now it's Carson, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Wilson now to throw on third down. He's got Lockett. He's up north of 100 yards receiving now in this NFC Championship game. And it's a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. Now Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Wilson. And that will be incomplete as well. Free safety, Clinton Dix, the man to make the play there on the defensive side.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Rodgers now to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one goes for 24 yards. Here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. And an alley to run. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Rodgers. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are back within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coach. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Penny. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's complete to Lockett. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Check 50, check 50. Hang out, man.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a game, hard to argue against calling it.
Penny, a first down carry. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And this is LaFowl. It's caught. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
My next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
319.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And some space here. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Rodgers now on first down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Montgomery, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
319! 319!
They get it to him running left. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I ain't running here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This will be caught at about the 6. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll leave it for Montgomery complete.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now, after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call, but how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Check 50, check 50.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
To throw again is Wilson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Nick Perry coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. The great veteran Clay Matthews able to knock that one away in coverage. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. On the crossing route, complete. That's Cobb. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
319.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now it's Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Byron Maxwell.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory. Moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Hallis, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.